Hey guys! So I just threw an art show with my co-curator Sindhu, and we had the best time ever, and I'm just so stoked. It's been 4 days. I'm still not over it. It was the best time of my life. I realized I always knew this, but I realized that I really crave community. I now have understood that this is going to be a big part of my life in the future, and I want to keep doing more stuff like this and bringing it to everybody out there, making it affordable, making it fun, engaging, and something you can just get up, get out of the house and go do and be perfectly fine when you come home. You're not exhausted, you know? So anyway, this is the story of how we made it happen. So it all started when I met Sindhu through a Discord server for an AI community where we're all making apps. We were both from Atlanta, so we met up and we did like a little painting date. And during this date, I said something. I said that it would be so cool if I threw an art show just at home in my house, and I just painted like 15 things and I put them up, and I just invited my friends to come over, you know, maybe share some snacks and mocktails or something and just walk around, look at art, you know, maybe I can sell some of it. And I just threw that idea out there as I'm painting. Actually, where's the painting? It's right here. This piece is what started it all. It's so ugly, I know, right? And I had the audacity to say that I want to do an art show. So anyway, Sindhu was like, you know, she has experience, she's wiser doing event management and stuff, so she was like, you need to go big or go home. Let's rent out a venue. Like, trust me, you can actually do this. And I was nodding my head the whole time, like, And then she convinced me into it. She's like, it won't be that hard, right? Like, you get a venue, you paint a bunch of things, follow a theme, we get some posters that talk about the message and the meaning behind everything. You invite your friends, we market it. Like, it can be really, really cool. And after that meeting, you know, let me be honest, when you meet internet friends, it's kind of like a hit or miss, right? You might never see them again. But I feel like the universe conspired in a way where Sindhu and I were supposed to meet. We were supposed to do this together. And now I think we're supposed to continue it. And I say that because everything about this show was last minute, I swear. Like, every week I felt like I was too busy to paint, but I somehow managed to get a painting done in 1 day. I somehow managed to get a painting, like a really complicated painting done in 3 days. But anyway, yeah, so that's how we met, that's how we got together. And the first step, of course, was going to my boss. I work part-time at a cafe. So I went to him and I was like, can I rent out this as a venue? So it was $100 for 4 hours. He said yes, thankfully. And you know, from that point onward, it was just getting everything in order. Sindhu and I have this passion for community and doing things for the greater good. So we really wanted to donate the profit somewhere. The thing is, like, I'm privileged. I'm very privileged. And so raising all this money, doing all this cool stuff for the community, and then keeping all the money, it's like, it would be super cool, validating, but that's it. That's all I would feel from that experience. I would buy myself more food and more things from TJ Maxx. And we chose the organization Raksha, which I featured in my last video, I'm pretty sure, 2 videos ago. And they help people who are dealing with domestic violence abuse. And so they assist with medical aid or stuff that comes with case management, transportation if they need it, and anything if the kids need support in any kind of way, therapy, appointments like that. The reason I say like the universe conspired in a way for this to happen the way it did was because we had one conversation with Raksha and it was very, very barely drafted. I didn't really know what the theme was or anything, and she somehow, the person in charge of outreach at Raksha, she saw my TikTok about it the day of. Somehow we got all the Raksha material to come to the event and we set it all up the same day. So a month ago I talked to Miss Gauri about it, and now a month later, the day of, it culminates and somehow comes together. And I just think that it's just, the chances of that happening were insane, because this TikTok, it didn't reach that many people, so it's kind of crazy. But yeah, and then the way we came up with the theme, our theme was basically about Indian identity and embracing it and being unapologetic about it, no hesitation. One of my favorite quotes is, own what you do or don't do it. And I think I like it so much because I don't own a lot of stuff that I do. Like, I'm never unapologetic about things. I feel like I mold myself to other people. I feel like I change when other people tell me to change. I feel like I don't know exactly who I am because I have no labels and I just absorb myself in whatever I'm doing. So I'm gonna go to med school soon, next week. And I just have a feeling that I'm just gonna absorb myself into this role of med student and I won't know how to get out of that. You know, like when I'm creative, for example, I've been in my gap year for 2 years now and I've just absorbed myself in this role of being a creative. And so being so malleable like that, it's good. There's so many pros to that. But a con is you don't really know yourself. And that means you don't really know how to be unapologetically yourself. Does that make sense? That's kind of how I see it. And maybe really embracing that is being unapologetically yourself, you know? So maybe that's my answer right there. But the entire point was, I don't think I was ever unapologetically Indian. Being Indian is such a huge part of my identity and upbringing. My childhood, my parents moved from India. They set up this whole life for us, and every hard decision they ever made was for me and my sister to not have to start from scratch. So that is a huge burden they carried, and it's also a huge burden for us to make sure that we're successful and happy and fulfilled and that we give back to our parents. We don't have to. We didn't ask to be here, so we don't have to. But I'm saying I kind of feel obligated to, and I think it's in our culture and in our nature and our people-pleasing tendencies to not let go of our parents and not let go of that obligation. Part of what it meant for me to embrace being Indian was to speak my language, to wear a bindi more often, to be unapologetic about wearing Indian clothes. I didn't feel like embracing it. I wasn't proud of it. And I think this entire art show was themed around being proud and being grateful and embracing it, because there's so much about India that is beautiful and wonderful that in another world would be popular, you know, in another world would be a trend. What I did with all my paintings and my artwork is I really tried to expose the parts of India that are beautiful and really subtle. Like for example, I have this elephant painting. This is not subtle. This is beautiful India. And even the temple, the structure, I'm really trying to emphasize the best parts of India, like the colorful elephants and stuff. But there are more subtle parts of India, like this truck. In India, they decorate the trucks. They put tassels on them. They paint them so intricately. Because what do you mean you're using a truck as your canvas? And why? I just think India likes to adorn things. For example, this is a jasmine painting, the scent of jasmine. And what they do in India is they pick jasmine flowers off the tree at a certain time in the evening and they spend 10 minutes threading it, you know, making a garland. And then before bed, they clip it into their hair and sleep. In the morning, the jasmine flowers are wilted, you take it out, and your hair smells like jasmine. And it's just like a pure self-care ritual. Nobody sees it. If you don't do it, no one would notice. If you do it, nobody notices. It's just like such a pure feminine thing. There's so many things like that about India that I just feel like I wanted to expose. I wanted people to know more about it and learn about it in that kind of way. So yeah, and I think part of myself healed by painting out loud about it. I have these two like figures, painting figures about these dancing ladies, Bharatanatyam. I did that when I was younger and I hated it. I feel like I would appreciate it so much more now. But back then, it just made me different. I'm not that old, but I think at this age, I'm really open now to seeing the beautiful parts of where I'm from. And I think this part of me healed a long time ago. Like I'm 24 now. I'm pretty sure at like 17, 18, I was getting over all these insecurities and feeling different. But I really wanted a way to document the feelings I previously had because it's so real and it's so alive and so many people feel it and it's not just me, and sometimes it doesn't end with time. Sometimes you don't heal from that stuff. I think part of me felt like if I painted these things, the concepts become real. All these ideas in my head, they become real and people can relate and have a conversation about it. And so yeah, that was the next stage of making the art show, is what kind of stations are we doing and how engaging are they going to be? And we had a journaling station where we had a prompt, which is what is something you're trying to embrace. We had a kalamkari block printing station where we could learn an art form together and stamp those blocks on fabric or canvases or paper. And then we had jewelry. I make jewelry, and so we had a little station featuring all the Indo-Western jewelry. And then I made also like little prints that I sold. And Sindhu's friend Sheila, she's from Canada, but she was kind enough to have us display her screen prints, and so they were like God motifs in there, mango trees, and then like fun stuff. And then we had a little bindi station because again, the whole point was to embrace everything. Ultimately, all the paintings got sold except one, and I met so many people from the community. I'm so grateful. I'm just so grateful. I've talked about it so much in the past 4 days, but just the fact that people were willing to drive all the way from Atlanta, from Chambly, from Cumming, from Alpharetta, and some people were like, I would drive 2 hours if I knew that this was happening. You know, it leaves me in shock that it just proved our point about third spaces and how people want something to come to and visit where they're not expected to do anything. You know, you just come, enjoy, you buy something if you want, but like there's no pressure for anything except just hang out with us and be part of this environment for just a couple hours. And this was on a Monday evening. People had work the next day and they still showed up for this type of thing. And I'm feeling so grateful, and we're definitely going to be doing more stuff like this. I'm really tired right now, but yeah. So that's kind of how it all came together. I got a lot of feedback from people saying that these kinds of spaces are necessary and they're not here in our area. So they were really grateful that we were able to put something together and kind of like call upon all these people around and just learn more about our culture and embrace it for a night. What's funny is I still feel a little bit superficial about the theme and the concept. I think I learned a lot and I think I healed through this, but I think there are more concepts about being Indian that I'm still afraid. Like, I didn't make this show because I'm healed and I'm embracing it. It's more like this entire show is about embracing it because I don't do that already. I'm still afraid to speak Telugu at home because I know I'm going to be made fun of for it. That's not embracing it. That's like avoiding it, avoiding the embarrassment of it. We're all kind of dealing with the same shiz together. Let's just sit and talk about it. Let's have a discussion. And so a lot of the paintings encourage a discussion. I want you to be like, oh, what's that? Oh, that's kind of cool, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I think I'll find my style as time goes on. I definitely want to keep painting. This has been an insane month. You know what's crazy is like strangers are very, very supportive. On TikTok especially. I spent 2 hours making this video to market the show. Didn't do so well. Didn't really give us any RSVPs. 2 days before the show, I set the phone down, spoke for 20 seconds about my insecurities about it. Like, damn, we have 50 RSVPs, but are people actually going to show up? Like, I'm kind of scared. What if it feels like I'm inviting people to a birthday party and I'm just waiting, hoping they show up? It blew up on TikTok. And so a lot of people that I met at the event said they were just doom scrolling, they saw it, and they booked their calendar for the day and just came. And some people found it the same day up. Some people found it while the event was happening and showed up anyway. And it's just, that is so freaking beautiful to me. I would do that. That's something I would do. And I severely underestimated TikTok, man. Something someone said really stood out to me, which was, he's like, dang, I missed it. How was it? And I was like, it was incredible. And he's like, great. Never underestimate yourself again. And it was just so straightforward. And actually, I'll probably put the conversation here. But it was so straightforward that I was like, you know what? You're right. Why did I ever doubt myself? I need to stop doing that. What the heck is that? I'm really happy with the turnout of the event. I want to keep doing stuff like this. And I learned that the community is really, really there for you as long as you ask help. You ask them to show up for you, and they really will. And you have to be honest. That is the trick. You have to be honest. The reason my video did well and it brought so many viewers is because they related to this idea of feeling insecure, putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. And because I was taking a shot at doing that, they also probably felt like taking a shot at doing that because they're not alone. And so these kinds of spaces, I want to curate them to those kinds of people where, hey, look, we're both going to be in this together. You might have social anxiety about this, but literally I'm here and I'm dealing with that right now. So join me, let's talk about it. Let's have these intricate discussions about culture, family. You know, this one was Indian themed, but maybe our next ones will be more, you know, applicable to more kinds of people. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. I had no idea I even had this interest or this skill. And so, yeah, I'll show you something. I had this goal of hosting 3 gatherings this year. The first one was my birthday. The second one was the art show. And so I only have one more and I finished this card. Anyway, I'm really tired. It's 1 a.m. right now. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is where it started. It's just crazy to me because this is so freaking ugly. Maybe I'll paint over this. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you if you came to the show. I'm so happy you came. I'm so grateful. Actually, there are these two girls, my friends now, but they were the first ones that approached me, and I asked them like how they found out about this, and they said TikTok. And I was like, wow, you guys really came from TikTok? Like, that's so awesome. And I was like, I think I'm gonna cry. And then they kind of laughed, and I was like, wait, I think I'm gonna cry. And then I just started crying, and I was like, I'm just so grateful. And we hugged, and then they were like, you know, if you ever need friends, like, we're here. Because I think I came off as like I'm super lonely and like no one's gonna come and support me. You know, I think I came off like that, but I was like, I'm good. Like, actually, I'm good in the friend department. I have such supportive people around me. It's just the fact that a stranger who knows nothing about me, nothing about the show, was willing to come out and just see what's up. It's really sweet. So thank you, Jer. Her name is Jer, and her friend. So thank you to Jer and her friend for coming out. Peace. I'm happy, and we're gonna do this again very soon. Thanks for listening.
It was such a successful night. So many people came from TikTok, and there were a lot of cool people that came. This revitalized me. I'm so happy. I was very stressed. I needed this. You guys are amazing. They put so much work into this, and it's so nice, and seeing all their hard work pay off. They are absolutely amazing, and every single person that came said the same thing.